mala Nnamdi malihe di mma. Okolobia nwele Nnamdi malihe di mma o. Biafra nwele Nnamdi anyị nwele ihe mala mma. Mmadụ na mala Nnamdi malihe di mma o. Hey hey, my ogbonge Biafran people. Hey, ụmụnne m obi na dịka amara mmom bewa akwa, amara mmom tibe mkpu. Chineke nna. Ihe ọbụla Nnamdi Kanu na gị n'ụwa ị ga-enye ya. My brothers and sisters, video gaha watch kita. The video you are about to watch, my brothers and sisters, is the video of how our leader, Master Nnamdi Kanu, have fought for Biafra underground. He went to Israel. He advocated for Biafra in Israel to tell them vividly, these are your lost people, and you guys have to stand up and defend our freedom. The Torah, the Sefer we are seeing now, have been fought by Master Nnamdi Kanu. This man, only God will reward him. We Biafran don't even have enough something to reward him. My brothers and sisters, you're about to watch this video. I beg, don't forget to smack the red button, click the notification bell. Subscribe to your sister, because we are going to preach this gospel. He say...
עכשיו בואו תשמעו סיפור שכנראה לא שמעתם עליו, שמתרחש בניגריה ולמעשה בביאפרה. כולנו אולי זוכרים את השם ביאפרה שמדברת על הילדים הרעבים שם, אבל מסתבר שבחבל הארץ, שבדרום מזרח ניגריה, יש אוכלוסייה גדולה מאוד, עשרות אלפים, יש טוענים מיליונים, של אנשים הרואים עצמם כיהודים ושואפים לאוטונומיה, מדינה יהודית עצמאית בביאפרה, שבניגריה הם גם זוכים לדיכוי ביד קשה של הרשויות. המנהיג שלהם נכלה ונאלץ לברוח מביאפרה ומצא מקלט כאן בישראל, ממש לאחרונה, והוא נמצא איתנו כאן באולפן. I want to congratulate you and to thank you for coming us, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you. Yes.
From Biafra.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We will shortly tell the story of how did you happen to come here. But let's talk a little bit about your people's story in Biafra. How many people there consider themselves Jewish, and how did it manifest itself?
Biafra in total has about a population of, say, 70 million people scattered all over the world. As you know, they've called us the wandering Jews of Africa. But those that identify themselves with their Jewish heritage is nearly about 50 million people.
15 million people?
50 million people.
Do they practice Judaism? They practice Judaism?
A significant number of them practice Judaism.
In what way?
In terms of their prayers, in terms of the Torah that they read, in terms of the kippah and the talit they used to pray, in terms of their recitation of their prayers, is a very significant segment of the population that actually practice it as we do, or most of us do in IPOB. The problem is that when IPOB is the indigenous people of Biafra, is this umbrella movement all over the world that is pursuing the emancipation of Biafra from Nigeria. So what's been happening is that when Christianity came with colonialism, a lot of our Jewish heritage was suppressed. We were made to feel ashamed of our Jewishness, so to speak. But luckily, unfortunately for us, a lot of people bravely maintain that very tradition and culture till this very day. If you go to Umweri in Anambra State, it is there. All over the world, it is there. And even the Encyclopedia Britannica of 1929 mentioned it quite specifically, that the Igbos are the Jews of Africa, because all the traditions you have from circumcision to everything that you can think of in the book of Leviticus, we're talking about the
Igbo nation, the Igbo people.
Yes.
Not all of them are Jewish, right? Not all the Igbos are Jewish, or they are?
They are all Jewish. The problem is that with the influence and influx of Christianity as a result of colonialism, a lot of that was dampened down. What happened was a lot of our emphasis was moved away from the Torah, the Old Testament, to the New Testament. But because the Old Testament still contained aspects of our tradition and our culture, we accepted the Bible as it was given to us.
Okay, we have a short clip showing you guys in Biafra in your Judaism way of life here.
Yes.
Hallelujah. It's the sound, centuries of colonial, returning to what they say are their native roots. A place.
Quite fascinating.
Very, very fascinating.
Now I want to look at the map of Biafra and Nigeria, and maybe this map tells a little bit of the story. So actually, you guys in Biafra, what are you struggling for? What is your aim in your struggle? Why there is such a confrontation between you and the authorities? Because
we want to go back to where we were before the British came. Most of our problems was basically made by the British. The way Nigeria was put together is the root cause of the problem.
I'm talking about these days. Okay, there was a war and Biafra was kind of independence between 1967 and 1970, I guess.
That's correct, yes.
And since then it's part of Nigeria. What do you want? You want an independence state of Biafra? You want to be a Jewish state? You want kind of autonomy? What did you like? What do we want?
We
want
an independent Jewish state, a Biafran state that is absolutely independent of anything to do with Nigeria, for the simple reason that we were independent before the British came.
But you want to be a Jewish state?
Absolutely. To go back to a way of life, there's a place called Arochukwu where we come from. The same way you have Jerusalem. The same way you have the temple in Jerusalem, we had one in Arochukwu, the same thing. So we want to go back to that way of life, to worshipping the one and only true God that we know.
Is there anyone within the Israeli establishment that recognizes you as a Jewish people?
Absolutely. I'm sure that during the time of...
I'm just interrupting you. This is you praying at the Western Wall at the Kotel.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I prayed there also in the year 2013 when I came to Israel.
So coming back to my question about the recognition by Israel to your Jewish way of life or to your Jewish heritage?
Our Jewish heritage.
Yeah.
And our way of life, yes. Isaac Rabin made some statements about that. Also, Henry Kissinger, the former United States Secretary of State, also made some comments about it as well. If you go to the Nixon papers regarding the Biafran War, it's all there, very clearly spelled out. But I think that it seems to be this kind of paranoia that should Biafra get closer to Israel, that 70 million people will somehow flock to the land of Israel. But that is not the case. We are seeking Biafra, so we can return to Biafra and be in Biafra.
Let's go back to your personal story. You have been persecuted or arrested in Biafra. What was the story about?
I arrived in Nigeria, in Lagos, on the 14th of October 2015, and I was arrested from London. I was arrested for demanding for freedom for my people, because I run Radio Biafra in London, and the authorities didn't like it. Then I had to go I had to go home, basically, to see my people, and they arrested me and kept me locked away for 19 months.
19 months?
Yes, despite 2 court judgments to set me free. They took me to court, and the court
More than a year and a half in custody?
Absolutely.
And then what happened? Trial.
And then they eventually granted me bail with very stringent conditions. When I came out, I continued to speak to my people. I continued to practice my Judaism, my Jewish faith. And one day they came to my house to kill me. The Nigerian army came to my house to kill me.
What was it like?
I wouldn't wish anybody to go through it. They killed 28 people in the process.
How many?
28 people died.
By the attempt to kill you?
To kill me, they killed 28 people.
How come they killed 28 people and they didn't get to you?
Because my people evacuated me before they could get to my bedroom.
And then you flew away?
Then they took me away and smuggled me out of Nigeria. I needed some time to recover, which I did, and then I had to make my way to Israel.
I see you are very excited.
I wouldn't call it excitement. I would say relief that I managed to make it to the only place that I feel safe in the whole world. I could have gone back to England, but I still don't feel safe to go back to England. That's why I stayed in Israel.
Okay, we're approaching the end of this conversation. Do you have any expectation from Israel government, from the Israeli society?
Yes, it is to live up to the obligations to defend Judaism and Jewish faith all over the world. We are being persecuted. We are suffering as a people. And it is the responsibility, I believe, moral responsibility of Israel to make sure that Biafra stands as an independent entity in Africa.
Nnamdi Kanu from the Igbo people in Biafra. I want to thank you so much for this conversation and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much for having me.
At personal level. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.